Okay guys, hope you're well. Just a very quick video, an update on the strength sheet I post up for the Scruffy squad every day. As many of you know, it's in two sections. But for those of you who don't, everybody gets to see the strength. But if you're in the rogue squadron, you get to see the whole thing, including the biases. And when you first see it, it's like, blimey. But once you get your head around it, it's quite simple. So let me fire it up for you. Okay. Now, between these black lines here, this section, that's what everybody sees. Everybody in the Scruffy squad gets to see that. If you're a rogue, you get the bias added to it as well. Okay. And what the sheet is, it's trying to identify movement. It's not so much a sort of direction picker, it's a movement picker, although the bias does try and give you an idea. So let me just run through a couple of the changes. This hasn't really changed at all. In fact, it hasn't changed. I've just added a couple of color codes into it to make it a little bit easier. And anybody who's followed me sort of on YouTube for the last few years will know you've seen a form of this all the time, because I've used it for donkeys. I really have, and I use it every single day. So the color codes are, it's just so you can quickly identify weakest and strongest. You know, deep red is the weakest, bright green is the strongest, and the colors fade accordingly. And likewise here, that is the percentage change between there and there. So you can see whether it's increasing, decreasing. But that's just the data. It's one of the drivers. And that engine is driven by that engine. So there's a lot of figures goes into this on a morning, and then it spits out what you see. Now, this is the part that you read. You read that bit, this bit, this bit, and this bit. And the way it works is very simple. This is the current strength, what it is today. And it'll tell you the strongest and the weakest in descending order. Okay? And then it does the same with the change of strength. Now, the way you would read that is very simple. You will go, okay, the New Zealand is the strongest, the Aussie is the weakest. Is that a good pair to look at? Well, yes, it is, because it makes common sense to look at a strong against a weak. They're going to move, you know. You look down here to get an idea of what's going on. Well, in this case, we can see the Aussie is gaining ground, but the New Zealand is losing ground. So they are still poles apart. And if you are going to be sort of buying into the New Zealand dollar, the change of strength would make you think, well, this is slowing down. So just be a bit careful. Why is it slowing down? It helps you ask some questions. Is it coming into a resistance level? Is it approaching a moving average? All of that sort of thing. Just helps you analyze the chart. Okay, so that's what that is. This bit here, this current strength, should really be market strength. I'll change. Well, we'll change that while we're on. Where's the bloody thing? There we are. Market strength. All right. Is the markets that you're going to be looking at. Okay. And again, it's looking to pitch the top three against the bottom three. So there's the top three, and then it'll pitch the bottom three in here. However, there's a criteria. It works on a 2-to-1 ratio. In other words, it won't pitch it against it unless it's at least 2 times stronger than what it's going against. And that way it helps filter out the markets. Okay? Because this could be the top three, but the weakest could still be very close to it. So it means it's not going anywhere. All right, you want some breadth. All right, so that's what that is. The section underneath is for day trades, because this will pick out all of the markets, whereas if you're a day trader, you kind of want to be pitching against the world drivers, the world currencies, if you like, which is the euro, the pound, the dollar, and the yen. And what you can look at here is you can think to yourself, well, I trade the majors all the time. Well, the pound is the strongest. The yen is pretty weak. It's the weakest of the four, and it's losing ground. So is that a good opportunity to trade? Well, the chances are yes. So that helps you pick out some day trades just out of this. And this section here is a heat map, pitching the currency pairs against each other, but also telling you what the ATR is. Now it's based on the daily ATR. So for argument's sake, if you're wanting the New Zealand Aussie, you just look for it amongst this lot where the two of them are together, which is here. You look for a red light, green light situation. In other words, green means it's strong, red means it's weak. So there's going to be movement, but it does 35 pips in a day. So that movement isn't going to be great. So what you would do there is it filters out which chart to look at. So I'm not going to sit there all day waiting for 35 pips. I'll just look at it every 4 hours. So 4-hour chart is great. If it's day trading, the hourly chart is great, where you get your signals from. Okay, if it's a red and a yellow, it just means one's weak, one's not. So the movement is going to be minimal at best. All right. So that's how all of that works. It then comes into the bias section. Again, there's a big engine drives this, and it puts in lots of different figures, and it's based over multiple sort of data sources, and it pulls out what's going on. So for the day trades, which I'll start with is here, it's a basket of the pairs that I look at on a daily basis. Now that basket changes periodically as markets change periodically, but euro, dollar, cable, pound, JPY will always be there. It only ever changes by 1 or 2 products. Okay, and the way I read this is very simple. If it's selling, I want to see what the relationship with the market is. So the euro pound is a sell, but it's slowing down. It'll tell me it's slowing. So again, why is it slowing? Is it coming up to resistance? Is there a change in sentiment coming? All right, but it'll tell me. Here, where that was a buy, but it says it's a swap. And a swap means it's a change in sentiment. It's swapping from a buy to a sell, or a sell to a buy from the last data source. So does that mean the momentum is increasing? All right, so that's a good thing to see. Again, it's exactly what it says it is. It's whether or not the buying pressure has gathered speed from the last data source, and therefore it's gaining. And then finally, if you see no change there, it just means it was the same as the last data sample. So again, it's a very quick and easy way to get a bias. Now, what I will say is the bias always comes from the long term. It's not a case of just, I'm on a 5-minute chart, sheet says buy, I'm buying everything. No, you need to be looking at your hourlies and your 4-hour charts to see what is going on and find out where the key levels are. But it'll give you an indication. So if you are looking for buys and the market is moving down, well, then the next sort of resistance level it comes to is probably a good area to be looking to get in, or certainly the one underneath it. So that's what that's for. And then the main engine is this. Now this is all 28 pairs, it will tell you what the current state of play is. If it's in red, it's kind of to the sell side. If it's in green, it's to the buy side. But it will tell you what the changes are. So from yesterday to today, it's saying it's minus 33. What it means is it's lost 33% of its selling pressure. Okay, so for all it's still a sell, it lost that pressure. So again, you have to ask yourself why. Is there a change of sentiment coming? Is it bouncing a moving average? Is it bouncing a level? That sort of thing. Again, there it is gained 1400% in selling pressure. Now that number looks massive, but it assumes each digit is 100%. It is 100, so that's why the numbers are pretty high. Okay, and then it just works it out all the way down, and you can quickly identify what's going on. And then the bias column is really looking for the best of the best. It's taking a look. It's what is going on based on the strength, the trend, and the current state of play over multiple sort of time periods, and then it's giving you a bias for the day. Okay, which is here. So it filters all of the pairs out and gives you the best basket to look at. Okay, and that is it. Nice and simple. It's a good sheet to work with, and once you've got your head around it, it's quite an easy thing to work out. Like I say, if you're a rogue, you'll be able to just look at that very quickly and go, yeah, I've got an easy basket. I'm looking at, say, the Euro CAD today. It's a buy. It's swap sentiment. You can see that here. So where's the Euro Aussie, or Aussie Euro? There it is there. It's a 40. So I'll just look at it in a 4-hour chart. Simple stuff. And away you go. It's that simple. If you're looking at, say, where we're at, where's cable? Well, there's cable. Okay, it's telling you it's a buy, but it's not the best buy. And why is that? You know, if you look over here, yeah, that's 81, that's 72. They're pretty close together. This has got no real change in strength, and that's only up by 7. So for all it's telling you to buy it, and there is a gain, it's not a great buy. So it filters everything out for you, and just kind of makes life a bit easier, I guess is the easiest way to say it. All right, so that's my sheet. Got any questions, by all means drop it in the Discord. I'll do my best to help, and I'll get posted up every day I'm at work. So as always, guys, trade well, keep the risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.